Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Vanessa of Sova Creations, and this is part 2 of making a junk journal. In the first part we put together our cover, and this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. I love the green fabric with this kind of design here, and this is such a perfect color palette for Easter or Mother's Day, something like that, which is pretty cool. I love it. So in this part, we are going to be putting together our signatures, and our signatures are each individual section of the journal that's filled with paper. So in this one, we're going to have 2 signatures filled with paper, each one filled with, we'll count out how many pieces because I'm not sure yet. I didn't get that far. But before we begin, if you guys would go ahead and subscribe, and then if you would like to like the video, please, to help the algorithm so that more people can see my creations. I'd really appreciate it. Alright, now let's get into it. So we have 2 doilies, we have 2 music sheets, and these are connected, so these are going to be easy to put in. We have tea-dyed paper. And then I like to use this craft paper now. So we have 2 craft papers, one for each. And then this really pretty, like beige-ish, or cream. I'd say cream piece of paper. And then I said in the previous video that we were going to be using papers from my paper ephemera pack from my Etsy shop. It's available in there. That way you can see like how we use the paper and stuff if you're interested. So I'm just going to open it up and grab out these papers. And move that out of the way. So what we have here, what's included in the pack, we have this pretty altered paper clip, which I'm going to use in there in some way. So we have Trivial Pursuit cards. We have bridge papers. Now these are going to be used as like the things that we put inside, and I like to use these as pockets or like little tuck spots. So those will set aside. We do have some envelopes, which I do want to put these in. We have some recipes here, which are fun to put into your journals. I think I was going to think like maybe I could put this one in, but no, I don't think I'm going to do that. We'll just use it as decoration. So let's set these aside. We do have these invoice pages, which are fun too. So these ones I think we can use also for the decorations. So I'm going to set all these aside, and then we'll get into these papers. So we have some shorthand papers here. I thought this was a really cool book that I found. I'm teaching you how to write shorthand. So I think we have 6 of these, so I can put, oh, we have 5 of them. So I'll put 2 in each. I'll move this one. This one's cool because it has a picture, but maybe we can use this as like a pocket or something, kind of like this or something like that. Okay, and then we have 20 pieces of dictionary paper. We don't need to use all that in one journal. So we'll probably use 4 pieces of those. 2 for each. And then we have these really cool yearbook photos, which are still connected, but we can easily just cut them. But these are from, I think it was 1950, which is pretty cool. I found it at an antique shop. It was my first time going to an antique shop, and I really enjoyed it. I want to go back again one day, because, I mean, there's so much cool stuff. Okay, so now we have 1 of each of those for the pages. I included 4 ledger papers, but we only need 2. Or I included 5. So it's nice because you have extra left over. And then there's these beautiful floral papers, which I think I want to use 2 of each of these. I want to use one of them as the signature center. So, okay, we got all that. Now we want to get folding. And we can decide after we fold if we have enough papers or not. Oh, shoot. You know what I didn't think about? This one is too tall. Okay, we're just going to have to cut off. We're going to have to cut off some of this, which kind of sucks. Or or we could fold it in half and just trim off the side here. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Where's my paper trimmer? Okay, so we're just going to trim a little sliver off. A little sliver off the side here. That way we can just fold it. Nope, my paper trimmer doesn't want to work. Okay, that's fine. It does that sometimes where it doesn't want to work. It's the Cricut one. If anyone has a suggestion for a better paper trimmer, if you could let me know in the comments, because that one frustrates me so much. There's so many times that it just rips my paper. Or it does that where it just bunches it up and then it kind of messes it up, and it's so frustrating. So, okay, there we go. We got those ones cut in half. Let's go ahead and cut these ones. So then essentially this becomes 2 pages for each signature, which isn't bad. Let me move this. All right, so we just want to get to folding here. I never found my bone folder. Oh, I don't know what I just said. I never found my bone folder, which is really disappointing because I like getting that crisp, that really nice crisp fold. But it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold up all our paper here, and when I'm done I'll come back and we'll see about cutting it down, whatever we need to cut down, or because this is kind of a tedious part here. But we'll see what we need to cut down. I know we're going to need to cut down the nature ones for sure, because those ones always end up being too big, height-wise, and probably width-wise also. But those are normally the only ones we have to cut down, so that's good. Makes it easy. But okay, I'm going to finish folding these and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and we got everything folded. So now what we want to do, I don't know if I actually said this before, but I added 2 doilies in. I like to put doilies in. It makes it look cute. So we have 2 doilies, but now what we want to do is separate out all our papers into our 2 signatures. And then after we do this, we can decide which order we want. Now I normally go uniform and I match up both signatures, but I think this time I don't really mind. I'm just going to kind of do it how I want, or I might just go in order of how I have it all set up here. But I think I'm going to not really worry about them both matching up completely. Okay, there we go. We have our 2 piles, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15 pages in each signature, and I think that's pretty good, because 15 times 4 is I know this, it's 60, so 120 pages in the journal, which is really good. So that's pretty decent. So especially for a 2 signature journal made with the file folders, because you know that's a pretty good amount in there. Okay, so what we want to do first, I think I want to have, I definitely know I want the signature center. Make sure don't set them on top of each other lining up. Make sure you turn it sideways there. I almost did that wrong. I want to make the signature center one of these, and I think I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to put that one first. And because it's going to go, when you're putting it together, it's going to go from the outside in. So, and then I think I want to do one of these, maybe a ledger paper. We have a lot of like kind of like tea dye color stuff in here, so I try to separate it out, but it's a little difficult sometimes. Okay, let's see, we want to go, I would say dictionary, maybe craft paper, tea dyed paper, shorthand paper, yearbook paper, another tea dyed paper, another shorthand, the cream dictionary, tea dyed, and then the what's this called? Music sheet. Alright, so this is how I go ahead and do it. We just open it up, and we start adding on our papers, and kind of make sure that on the outside one, you can always fix this later, but kind of make sure it's centered with all these smaller pages. That way you can make sure you get it pretty good in there. Yeah, we have a lot of small pages, so we just need to make sure they don't move around too much. Okay, this part's pretty fast. Once you fold everything and you get it all separated out, it's not too bad. The folding is the tedious part that I'm just like, it gets a little boring. All right, let's go ahead and finish getting this all in here. And then the second one I'm going to do off camera. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to make it uniform with this one, like as far as like the same. I don't think it needs to be the same, you know, like order. There we go. Okay, here we go. And then as you can see, the only paper we're going to need to cut is the, I thought I had two of these in here. Oh yeah, I guess this one will be the outside one. So what I like to do with these is go ahead and tap it all the way down so it's all even on the bottom, and then we cut. Actually, the top doesn't need cut. Surprise. Oh yeah, it does. It's just that I have it on the inside. I have it on the outside. Okay, so we need to cut the top and the sides. So we'll do that. I forgot the doily, so we'll put the doily on the outside like that. Okay, okay, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to do the other one and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back and we have both of our signatures ready, besides cutting down the larger pieces. So what I like to do, since we know that our florals are on the outside and on the inside, it kind of makes it easy just to kind of take them out. So I take them out, I just put them together like so. I think I could do all four. All right, let's do 2 and 2. That way we don't mess it up. So what I like to do is just kind of line it up with this. And then I'm sure there's better ways to do this, but this is just kind of the way I like to do it. So I line it up and then I get my ruler and I line the ruler up as straight as possible with everything else. And then I'll take my knife and cut it, but I think I'm going to use my rotary tool this time. See if I can kind of zoom you guys in a little bit there. Okay, I'm going to take my rotary tool and cut it. Yeah, that rotary tool works way better than the knife, because sometimes the knife will tear. And okay, so we got the side done. That was a pretty smooth cut. I really like that. Okay, now we'll go ahead and line it up at the top. We can get that little extra piece here of, oh, that just came right out. Okay, we're lined up. We're lined up at the top. Let's go ahead and cut it. Oh, do it one more time. Sometimes I don't put enough pressure there. Okay, yeah, this is perfect. That cut like really nicely. Okay, so now we can go ahead and figure out which one was our center. I think it was this one. Put our center back in. Over here. Still looks a little long. Oh yeah, the center, because it gets pushed out. So let's just go ahead and cut this extra piece here, because I completely forgot how when you put it inside the papers, it gets pushed out some. Okay, put a lot of pressure on that ruler to really hold it down. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Nice and smooth. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut down the other one. I think I'm just, the problem with doing that, okay, I think this time we'll do it like this. Well, you know what, we'll just do it the same way we did it, and then we'll cut it down again when we get into the center. Okay, this one seems a little more, oh, because I have it set up differently probably. Okay, sorry guys, we're having a little trouble here. little technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. Now we got it all lined up. It might cut off a little of the ledger paper, I think, but that's okay. Nope, it didn't. It just took a little sliver of it over here. Okay. Now let's do the tops. These are actually pretty taller, significantly taller than the regular paper. Apparently I cannot talk today, so I think that happens a lot. Alright, we'll go ahead and cut this. Sometimes we do need to make 2 passes because it doesn't go through, but that's okay. I really like this rotary blade. I highly suggest that if you like the rotary blades, that you go ahead and, I mean, if you feel comfortable using the rotary tool, I would, because it's way better than the craft knife in some instances. I'm glad I decided to try it one day. Alright, tap it down, and then we're going to go ahead and line it up. Push really hard on your ruler and cut. Okay, we got that all taken care of. Where is my other doily? Here we go. Alright, now I do things, we're going to go ahead and paper clip this off. I do have some giant paper clips somewhere. I need to find them real quick. I'm never prepared. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I have these big paper clips. These work really well. I used to use small ones, but then, I found these at my grocery store, and I was like, oh, those are cool. And they really work a lot better to hold everything. See if we can get it over this doily back here, so we can hold the doily down, because I wasn't sure, like, how am I going to hold the doily down? Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do it this way. Alright, so we have that all done. I'm going to do the same with the next one. Open it up to the center. Get this paper clip on and over the doily as well. And then you're going to see I do things a little bit differently when I do these smaller 2 signature journals. There we go, we got them done. So, okay, so what I like to do, are we zoomed in? There we go. Okay, what I like to do is I put them directly inside here, but I only make 3 holes. I don't do two different rows. So what I do is I put, it's because for me this is the easiest way to do it. I put them like this inside one another like this, and then I take a big paper clip and paper clip them together like so. And then I place them inside kind of evenly where I want them to be, because I'm just going to, when I sew them in, we're going to go through the same holes for both of them. For me, I found that's just the easiest thing. It is a little difficult to get through the pages, but what I like to do also is, let me get this off of here, is connect this to the cover as well as holding in all of these. That way, now that we got them in a good spot, see, it's kind of even at the bottom, at the top and the bottom. Actually, we can bring it down a little more. That's good. Okay. And then what we do is we go ahead and open it up. Make sure we push down. You can always use your ruler to push it down. And then we just kind of feel for where we think we want it. Like this right here by the B5, I would say is a good center point. So we just take it and start going through. I'm going to try to show you as well as I can. You can kind of see the awl starting to make its way through. I kind of got to put it down a little so I can make sure I keep adjusting the pages just in case I feel like they're moving. And there we go. We made it through. You don't, oh, there we go. All the way through. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and see like where we think the top should go. I would say here by the A2. And then we go. Just be careful when you're doing this that you don't poke through your finger, because I have done that where I poke my finger as it's coming through. Okay, and then let's do the bottom, which I flip it around. And then I remember that I flipped it around because you don't want to forget that you did that. Okay, through this little leaf here, I'd say. This is pretty difficult, but it's not too bad. There we go, we made it through. Okay, now let's flip it back over. Don't forget that part. And we'll go ahead and take these, separate them. There we go. As you can see, our holes went through. Oh, let me get down. There we go, through there. And that's our second signature. I guess it doesn't matter if they get mixed up. And the holes through there. And then we have our holes through here. It's a little off right here, but sometimes that happens because it moves a little. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, so we start with sewing in our second signature first. I think I want to use this color. I like to use the embroidery floss. And we want to go ahead and do 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then we'll cut that. Now I noticed sometimes when you do the 3, because I know that's what I learned when I first started doing this, is you go 3 times the height, and sometimes we're left with a good amount left over, but then I'm always too afraid to do any less, because then what if we're short, you know? But it's also okay because I like to have some overhang. So okay, so we threaded our needle, and what we want to do is go through the middle hole first. See if we can. There we go. Pull it through, but leave, I would say, about this much hanging down. And then we go through the top hole. And this is always a little difficult, so what I do is put the needle through, if you guys can see that hopefully. And then go through the top hole like that. Alright, so we pull it through. And you're going to end up pulling some of this one through because that's just what happens. Okay, we'll go through the bottom now. Pull it through. And then we go back through the center. Which this can be a little difficult, especially when you're on your second signature. Just make sure you don't go through the thread, because then it gets kind of wonky and it makes it a little difficult to tie it off. Okay, so we made it through, but we want 1 string on either side. That way we can tie it. And you want to pull it tight, not too tight, but pretty tight, so that you make sure that you have, so it's not too wiggly. All right, there we go. And that was actually the perfect size of the string that we did, because we have enough overhang that I like. Okay, and then we can take off our paper clips, put them aside, and now we're going to do the same thing with the doily move. Let's move it back. Okay, let's get our embroidery floss. 1, 2, 3. Cut it. And where's my needle? Uh-oh, I set my needle down. I do this sometimes. There it is. It was under the journal. Okay. Try to set your needle down where you know where it is. That happens to me all the time. Like, wait a minute, where's my needle? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and thread this needle. Sorry, I'm trying to do it on camera, but it's hard because you kind of need to see where that eye is. Now, embroidery floss can be a little tricky because it likes to come off. Let's see. So what I do is just kind of try to roll it together and then do it. There we go. So if you kind of roll the ends, it kind of goes a little easier. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this one. Hopefully we got our doily in the right place because I don't want to poke through it. There we go. Okay. Oh. So we are in there. Oh no, my embroidery floss came out. Okay. This happens sometimes. All right, let's roll it back again. And then it just really wants to be difficult for me today. You can also use like wax thread and stuff on this, and that's what I did when I first started out, but then I find I just really like the look of the embroidery floss better than the wax thread. It's just a personal like choice. Whatever you like better. I think the wax thread is definitely easier to thread than embroidery floss, but I still like the look of it. Okay, there we go. We got it. I was about to pause and come back when I got it. Okay, let's try this again. So what we're going to do is, you can see right here is where the hole is. You can see the thread coming through. So we're just going to go right through that one. Okay, pull our thread through. And this is the tricky part. We're going to go through the top. There we go. But avoid going through the top papers. Make sure it comes out through the side. And back in through here. And then down to the bottom. And again, you're looking kind of for that, if it'll focus, that hole right here. And go through. Make sure you keep an eye on this center thread because it sometimes likes to be difficult. Okay, pull it through. And then we'll go back to the center hole. Now I don't understand why this happens sometimes, because the hole's over here, but then the thread goes in through here, so it's weird. All right, let's get that through. Remember, avoiding the embroidery floss. And back through. Sometimes you get lucky and it comes out through the other side of on the other side of the thread. Okay. So we got that. Let me put my needle where I know where it is, even though we're done, but at least put it away. Okay, and pull tight. We're gonna tie it once, and then you do the opposite of how you did it. So you can tie this 3 times or 2 times. See, this time we had like a bunch left over. So what I do is I kind of line it up with the other one and cut it. All right, and then we can take our paper clips off, fold it down, kind of push it down. Okay, and there we have it. We have our junk journal put together. And it looks really nice. See our centers? This is why I like to use the floral paper as the center, because I think it just looks so pretty. Let's see. I love how the music paper looks in here. I've completely forgot that I got music paper, so I'm very excited about that. Okay, and there we have it. And now in the next part, I will be decorating up some of the pages, showing you kind of how you can use some of the stuff and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, if you would please go ahead and like the video and subscribe, and remember, just let me know if you guys have any ideas for paper cutters. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.